Okay, hey everybody, welcome. I'm here with Neil Woodard out of Rockingham County, Virginia. Good morning.
Morning. How you doing, John?
Great, Neil. Good to see you.
Good. It's actually mid-afternoon here, but okay.
That's
I hope you're having a good morning.
so far so good. Absolutely. No, thanks for taking the time. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about the business, and first and foremost, if you would tell us a little bit about yourself, a little background of who you are and what you've done or what you do.
Okay. Well, what I do now is this. With having gone full-time about the first of this year. Prior to that, I had 30 years of varied experience in several areas of finance, real estate, compliance, retail management, pretty much all sales related. And my wife Laurie is my partner, even though she's still working full time at another job, which keeps us in benefits for the time being. But she also had some sales experience, and specifically some furniture sales experience. So that was definitely helpful.
Oh, I'm sure it was. What in 30 years of not being a business owner to getting in business for yourself, what made you want to cross over and take that path?
Well, of those 30 years, I guess at least 20, 25 of them, I was either a 1099 or straight commission. So it wasn't a huge leap to be completely self-reliant. But, obviously what most people look for is, freedom. My wife in particular had been looking for quite a number of years at, a number of home-based opportunities, either home-based or, business ownership opportunities. And being the one with the finance and business background myself, more so than she did, she was frustrated that I shot a lot of them down. And, for various reasons. And then I happened to come across this and tried to find ways to poke holes in it and so forth, and wasn't having much luck. So I brought it to her attention, and here we are.
That's great. So you did, Neil, have experience of going out there and making things happen. That's obviously how you got paid. And tell me a little bit about the business, how it's structured, and what do you do to go out there and create business today?
Networking, belong to a couple networking groups, and this business has not joined the chamber, but I am a chamber member through another organization currently. So I've been attending some of the chamber events, and we will be joining under this business soon. We've started a couple of initiatives. Hopefully, I can't give you results yet, but be glad to when I have them, to bring in some business through fundraising for local organizations that we feel strongly about and want to support. And so if they want to support us also, we can work together on that. I know New Economy Fundraising is one branch that I guess I'd like to be a little more involved in. So we'll talk about that offline. Facebook marketing, posting things on Marketplace. I seem to find that to be a little more effective than Craigslist. I've heard that from a few others, so I don't know if that's the broad experience or just what I've experienced. But boosting some posts on Facebook. The main thing is just being visible, whether it's in person or online, through LinkedIn, through, Alignable is something that I've gotten into here, which really helps you focus more locally, where, you've got LinkedIn contacts and Facebook contacts all over the country. There's a couple of apps, including one that a friend of mine is starting here locally, that really just connect you to your local community, and that's where you need the greatest visibility.
The people business, and networking events is just that, putting yourself out there and letting people know what you do, because we know that they're getting their mattresses and furniture somewhere. If they know you exist, obviously it makes sense. Chances are good that if they know you, like you, and trust you, they're going to do business with you. And I guess, what's the best thing for you that comes along with ownership of mattress and furniture business?
I guess deciding for myself, if, what, when to do. When you work for somebody else, you are compelled, if not demanded to do things their way, whether you happen to agree with that or not. So you guys are great at giving some guidance, but, pretty hands off is how each person runs their own business. And after 30 years of being in business and sales and marketing and so forth, I always love to hear what other people are doing, but I don't want them to make decisions for me. So that's the great thing about owning your own business.
Yeah, that makes sense. And how much time do you put into the business?
Now full time.
Okay.
We started off, my wife was working 40 hours. I was working 50 or 60 as a retail manager, which was my first experience in retail. So I guess that was good proving grounds to decide if I wanted to be in a more retail-based business. But having more one-on-one sales experience, I'm very much consultative. So that is something I do like about this particular business, that, I get to know people, they get to know me, I ask them questions. I tell them some of these questions I'm going to ask you are going to sound nosy, or you might not understand why I'm asking, but there's a reason for every one. I'm trying to do the best I can for you. So, oh yeah, okay, great. What do you want to know?
That's great. So when you say, I'm sorry, say that again.
No, I was just going to say, in that consultative process, it's always, great to let people know what you're doing and why, and kind of get that permission from them. And, once that understanding is there, they'll open up and tell you what you need to know to help them.
Yeah, I think that's another example, Neil, of you just, going out of your way, getting to know the customer, right? I mean, getting to know the customer, they got to know, like you, and trust you. And when you say full-time, how are you structured? What's the location that you have? Do you have hours of operation? When you say full-time, because everybody's full-time is different, what is a normal day in the life for Neil?
We've tried different days and different hours, and we've kind of settled in right now on having open store hours Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 6. I'm in a small shopping center complex. I've got about 1,500 square feet. There are 5 restaurants in this complex, and 4 of them are on my side of it. So, if you get here too far before lunch, the place is dead. There's nobody here. Once the dinner crowd has kind of come and gone, people, stopping, picking up carry out to take home, or coming into one of the restaurants to eat. At that point, they're either going to see us and stop in if it's some of that foot traffic business you hopefully capture. And if that hadn't happened by about 6 o'clock, it's probably not going to. So we settled in on those hours. And then we leave Saturday, Sunday, Monday open for appointments, deliveries, and, hopefully to have a day off for ourselves.
Oh, that's great. That's the benefits of, being a business owner, is you decide when you want to be open and accessible and when you don't. Why would somebody, and obviously, that we're in a competitive market, and, the mattress furniture business, there's always, stores popping up, and I think that trend is going to continue for years to come. But why would someone, Neil, do business with you opposed to going down the street to one of those corporate stores or chains?
No BS, no gimmicks. They may not know it when they walk in, but they're going to know it within a few minutes that, we care about why they're here and what their needs are. And, we're going to find out what it's going to take to make them a happy customer. It's going to go tell other people.
That's great. And looking back from, your experience, where you are now and where you started, is there anything that you would do differently if you had a chance to do it over?
Yeah, I think I would have gone full-time sooner. We didn't really get the chance because of the hours that we were both working and other family commitments and so forth. We didn't really get the chance to go out and do that guerrilla marketing, pound the pavement and kind of get the word out. And I think one way or the other, knowing what I know now, had I had the chance to go back and do it over again, whether I thought I had the time to do it or not, I would have found a way to do it. I think that would have kickstarted the business much quicker if we'd have created some of that visibility and awareness even before we had anything in the store to sell. So I would encourage anybody to find a way to do that.
No, that's great. And that kind of leads me to my next and final question: is any advice to a new owner, that's looking to come on board?
Yeah. you and Larry, everybody, John, I'm sorry, Jeff, everybody's been wonderful as far as, encouragement, availability and so forth. I would kind of like to see a mentorship program now that the organization has grown to the point where I think we can do that, where each new DC owner coming on board gets connected with a willing DC owner who kind of, you guys try to figure out what business model somebody's going to run. Are you going to do a by appointment only? Or are you going to have store hours? So you kind of know that going in, and you know who your DC owners are. I think it would be great to pair each new one up with somebody who's been in the business for at least a year and is willing to be a mentor. And that person is kind of, their first go-to maybe, to kind of get that boots on the ground advice. And the other part I already kind of touched on is, be early, be visible. The worst thing that I heard the first 6 months, and I still hear it occasionally, was when a customer would come in, oh, I didn't know you were here. Oh, well, do you do this? Do you do that? Yeah. Oh, gosh, I really wish I knew you were here. I just spent $3,500 next door, a few months ago. I didn't even know you were here. After they see our prices and talk to me and, oh, God, when I'm like, well, I'm sorry you didn't know I was here either. I got to take some responsibility for that. But, I'm here now. So future needs, referrals, so forth, please. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I will. But, when they tell you they just spent $3,500 next door and you were here, that hurts. So don't let that happen.
No, that's great advice and a great suggestion. Mentorship, we've talked about it before, and I can tell you that confidently that there is a mentorship program in the works. It's been suggested before. And does that mean that you might volunteer to be a mentor?
Sure.
Oh, great.
Sure.
Well, I appreciate it.
The last little piece of advice is, ask more questions for the new people coming on board. Ask more questions than you think you need to. There's lots of things I found out that along the way that, gosh, it would have been really helpful to know that before it came up. So just ask every question you can think of, and having a direct assigned mentor that you can reach out to at any time without feeling like we're, because I know that as the business grows, each of you gets busier and busier. I'd absolutely be willing to do that. And I think that'd be great for new people coming on board.
Well, that's great, Neil. We appreciate that. We appreciate your team mindset, and we're in it together. Appreciate you taking the time, and continued success with the business.
Thank you, John. Have a good day.
Thank you.